Black people, Africans, us as black people, we teach each other that we must believe in ourselves and we must walk tall and believe that we are equals to anybody in the world. But this is psychological. The black people have gone through a lot in the history, from colonization to slavery and all that. It has caused a psychological damage in our brains, in us believing ourselves. I'm no neuroscientist, scientist, but I think genetically our brain has been altered. We are just passing the genetics to the next person with a brain that cannot believe, that cannot have ambition enough to believe that we can do better as Africans, as black people. Because it is one thing to say we must believe ourselves, like Malcolm X said when he was referencing, they were saying, until Africa becomes great, uh, Africans will never be respected anywhere else. Black people will never be respected anywhere else. And somebody in the comment section on one of my videos said, um, respect is earned, not demanded. Oh, there is something wrong with that statement, because obviously every human being is created equal. It doesn't matter what you have done or what you have accomplished. But in actual fact in life, until we do something with our continent, with our lives, and improve and become great ourselves, we will never be respected. We can demand it, we can cry out loud, but nothing will ever happen. If you look, when Malcolm X made this statement, he was saying, before China was transformed to become the great China that we know today, Chinese were not respected anywhere else in the world until Mao Zedong arose and raised China to become the China that it is today, which made the Chinese to be respected all over the world. Um, until we get there, we will never be respected in the world. And it's also psychological in terms of us believing in ourselves. We tell each other every single day that we must believe ourselves, we must believe we can do it. But until we actually start seeing things being done, we will never believe it. Subconsciously, black people do not really believe that we are great. We do not really believe that we can do it as well. That's when you see, if you have a conversation with an African, especially with a South African, if you read any comments when people talk about the economic situation, the economic inequality in South Africa being unfair, uh, questioning the status quo, that how can we be comfortable as a people that every single thing, every single section of the economy is owned and run by white people? When that question is raised, the first people to defend the status quo is the black people. The reason being, psychologically, deep inside, subconsciously, is because we do not believe we can do it. We would rather just have the little bits that we are having, the crumbs that we are having, than for, because in us as black people, the imagination to be better, to, if you see a building, you do not have the capacity to imagine and ask yourself, why can't I be the one owning this building? That's when you start realizing there's something wrong. If you are ambitious enough to realize, to think about asking yourself these questions, that uh, why can't I own this building? Why can't I be the guy who is running a multi-million rand or dollar company as a black person? That's when you realize there is something wrong with our society. This is how I myself got interested in having this conversation. I didn't give a shit about politics growing up. People who know me, if they see today me talking about politics, they will be like, what the fuck? But I realize these are the things that are in the way of us becoming great, because I have the fire, I have the zeal. I ask myself the question when I see something great being done. I ask myself, why can't I be the one doing it as well as a black person? Why can't I do it myself? Then that's when you realize there's um our colonial past. That the colonizer didn't actually leave the continent. They are still with us. They are still owning means of production. They're controlling it, making it difficult for us as black people to get in, and also the political issues. With our leaders not creating the environment for us to flourish. But it's only when you actually subconsciously believe that you can. But the majority of Africans, they don't. We don't believe these things. We just say it vocally and verbally that we are, yeah, we are also, yeah, but we don't really believe that we can do it. Another case in point, if you want to see that we don't really believe that we are equal and we are equally being black, is there's nothing wrong with being black. Look at black women, all right? Every woman that I know, African woman, I'm not talking about America, I'm not there. Every African woman that I know, 95%, they have done something to their hair to make it look like a white woman's hair or an Indian woman's hair. All of them, they've done something. It's extensions, is this and is that, because they do not believe that this hair is beautiful. A black woman's a black person said that this kinky hair, they don't believe that is beautiful enough. They have to do something to make it look like a white woman's hair, or make it look like an Indian woman's hair. That's how deep the damage has been to our image as black people. We do not really believe that this skin is beautiful. We don't. We are always using lotions, makeups, and we try hard to look lighter, and because we are not proud of who we are. It's subconscious, deep inside. Mm, Consciously we can verbally say, oh yeah, we are all equal, we are all this, but subconsciously we do not believe it. If we talk about neo-colonialism or post-colonial era in Africa, the things that we as black people have accepted from the colonizer, no one else in the world will accept that bullshit. Imagine mm, these conditions that we live today, with France having the post-colonial pact in the francophone countries, and countries like South Africa, Namibia, Kenya, and others, with white people still owning the means of production and the land. you, you will never see that in Europe. That will never ever happen anywhere else in the world. Only black people can accept that nonsense. If that were to happen in America, just imagine what they would do. If that were to happen in Europe, just imagine what they would do. But us as black people, yeah, we accept it because we do not believe that we can. We do not believe in ourselves that we are capable. Anyway, that was just a little rant, me complaining. Please subscribe, like, and share. Comment, say your mind. I do not attack anybody. I do not attack people. My wish is for us as black people. Sometimes I feel like giving up. I just like, you're trying to have a conversation to empower black people, but the black people that you're trying to empower, they do not want to be empowered. They actually attack you in the defense of the systems that we are trying to to fight against. But anyway, we have no choice. We have to say these things, we have to have conversation, and we have to move in the direction. We should say less and act more.